Come here. Sit down for a moment. No rush. No need to pretend everything's fine. I can see it. The way your shoulders stay tense. The way your breath catches just a little too often. Fear has wrapped itself around you, hasn't it? Like an old coat you've worn for so long that you no longer remember what it feels like to stand without it. I know that coat. I carried it once too. Strange, isn't it? How fear makes itself at home inside you. How it whispers in your ear, weaving its stories so tightly into your thoughts that you start to mistake them for truth. You begin to believe that its voice is your own, that its warnings are wisdom, that its weight is something you must carry. But listen to me, my friend. Those whispers are old, older than you, older than me, older than the stars that burn in the sky. Fear is ancient. It has existed since the first flicker of life, since the first creature crawled out of the ocean and into the unknown. It has whispered to every heart that has ever beaten, in every body that has ever walked this earth. And yet, here we are, the world turns, the rivers flow, the stars still shine. You are not the first to feel this, you will not be the last. But let me tell you something that most people never realize. Fear is not a truth. It is only a reflex, an echo from the past, a survival mechanism carved into the marrow of our bones. Long ago, it kept us alive. It made us run from danger, hide from the unknown, shrink from anything we did not understand. It served its purpose. But you, my friend, are no longer a creature lost in the dark. You are not bound by the old laws of survival. You are something greater than that. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe. Feel the air entering your lungs, the steady rhythm of your chest rising and falling. Let yourself settle into the stillness. Do you feel that? That quiet hum beneath the noise, beneath the endless thoughts running through your mind. That is you, the real you, the part of you untouched by fear, the part of you that has existed since the beginning of time. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself where your fear comes from? Who first told you to be afraid? Was it truly your voice, or was it the voice of someone long gone? A whisper passed down through generations, an inheritance you never asked for. Was it the voice of a teacher, a parent, a stranger, a world that taught you to doubt yourself before you ever had the chance to rise? Because I'll tell you something, my friend, you do not have to carry their fear anymore. Imagine it for a moment. Imagine your fear as a book in your hands. A book filled with old warnings, with pages worn from years of reading the same lines over and over. And now, imagine that you, right now, have the power to pick up a pen and write something new. Because you do, you always have. The only thing stopping you was the belief that you couldn't. It feeds on resistance. It grows like a shadow at your back, stretching, looming, following your every step. But something strange happens when you stop running. When you turn to face it, it shrinks. Oh, it will still whisper, of course. It will still try to make itself important. But when you look it in the eye and say, I see you, I hear you, but I do not need you anymore, something in you changes. It's like standing in a darkened room and realizing that the monster you feared was never there at all. And perhaps, in that moment, you do not cast fear aside like a warrior throwing down his sword. No, you do something far greater. You reach out to it. You place a gentle hand upon its trembling form, as a parent would soothe a frightened child. And you say, thank you. Because fear, for all its weight, was only trying to protect you. It only wanted to keep you safe in the only way it knew how. It never meant to imprison you. It never meant to hold you back. And now you tell it that it has done its job well, that it may rest, that you will carry on from here. Tell me, my friend, do you know what lies beyond fear? Not safety. No, safety is too small a prize. What lies beyond fear is freedom. The freedom to try, to fail, to rise again. The freedom to walk into the unknown, not because you are fearless, but because you are willing. The freedom to live in a way that is bigger than your doubts, bolder than your anxieties, truer than the stories fear has told you. Come with me for a moment. Let's take a walk. Look up at the sky. Do you see how vast it is? How endless? Do you know that the stars above you have been burning for millions of years, long before you took your first breath, and will continue to burn long after you are gone? Now tell me, do you think your fear is bigger than that? Because here is the truth, my friend. You are not small. You are not fragile. You are woven from the same matter as the stars, filled with the same light that has ignited the universe since the beginning of time. And the universe, it does not cower, it does not flinch. It spins and dances and creates, unafraid of its own enormity. Why should you be any different? I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself standing at the edge of something new. Maybe it's a dream you've been too afraid to chase. Maybe it's a door you've been too scared to open. Maybe it's a life you've been too hesitant to step into. And now, imagine me there, standing beside you, not as some distant voice, not as a figure beyond your reach, but as someone right here, right now, with a hand on your shoulder. I do not push, I do not pull. I simply stand with you, steady, warm, unwavering, and I tell you with all the certainty in my bones, you can do this. Not because you are fearless, not because you have all the answers, but because fear is not bigger than you. You will carry your fear with you, of course. It will walk beside you like a quiet companion, whispering from time to time, but it will not own you. One day you will look back at the things that once terrified you, and you will smile. You will wonder why they ever seemed so big, because they were never bigger than you. So go now, my friend, step forward, not because you are ready, not because the fear is gone, but because you have learned the truth. You were never truly afraid. You were only ever on the brink of remembering what you are.